Right, this is the final one for this week. Narrative. We're going to start with a horror game called Martha is Dead. This is a Spanish game, which I played in Spanish. It's a first-person game. I was going to say like a walkabout game. You do some photography in the game. The game is very invested in you doing all the old school photography. You go out there, you take pictures. It is set in World War II era. Did I say Spain? I meant Italy. So we are in fascist Italy. An interesting setting for a horror game. You are the daughter of a general. It deals with sort of mental health in a way that horror likes to do, and doesn't necessarily treat it with sort of dignity that game stories do. So you go into that knowing that, but like it's made by Italians, not Spanish people, and that always brings a sort of extra interestingness to even if it is a bit what is the word? If I was writing this review, what I would do is I would look up the word I was thinking. Horror, it's exploitative, and it is a little bit. It's talking about mental health. It's talking about horror, talking about war. It's going to be a tiny bit exploitative, but you spend a few days, not very long, it's like 10-15 hours long. The story I should probably mention is Martha has a twin sister who just died under suspicious circumstances down the lake, which she's got to take a picture. But her mum hates her, so she's pretending to be her dead sister, who's mute, so she can no longer talk. What will come of that situation? Bad things. It's a horror game. It's okay. It's okay if you like. If you want to explore different types of horror, it's certainly no worse than a Blooper Team game. Let's put it like that. Well, it's no worse than the worst Blooper Team game, which is arguably the medium. But like, I was kind of generous, but I've seen people online not be as generous, and suddenly I'm like, yeah, maybe, especially when it's about mental health and hallucination and all that. When it leans into real world stuff, it's just it does use magic and stuff, and that might be metaphor. I'm more willing to give benefit of the doubt there, but its mileage may vary. Continuing with horror, Slay the Princess. This is technically not a game, it is definitely a visual novel. The gimmick is you are tasked to slay the princess. You can talk only in text, although you do have a voice. You're the hero or something. I think it changes. I worry that I will spoil a bit of the gimmick if I even explain any more than that. But yeah, you make decisions. Should you go and stab the defenseless princess? Maybe go down there and talk to her first. Maybe just don't go into the tower at all. Things like that. And then, here's where you would skip a bit because of spoiler. You get the end of that story and you come back. Somehow that's not ended because you were told by the narrator that would save the world, but you're just back here again. But now you have a second voice in your head. The person you are is now with you, but you're making choices, and that guy's going, well, the ramifications the last time did a thing, and then it gets even weirder because you go through a third time and you're like collecting versions of you, but it turns out you're actually trying to collect versions of the princess from all these different timelines because of some big meta narrative going on, and that is all I will say. It's worth watching the trailer. It's funny. It's dark. You need a fucking spreadsheet to get all the endings. There's sort of like the thing, you play the game and you play through it 5 times and then you get like an ending based on that. But then you have to start again from the very beginning. So then you'd have to track the ones yourself that you've done so you're not seeing content before. So I'm a bit confused about that implementation. So it's like a half measure, but it is made in an engine, I think it's made in Twine, that is very difficult to get to do other stuff in. So I appreciate that it might not be the easiest to wrangle that in. Wonderstop. I should have played more of this. I only played this for a few hours. It is a subversive, cozy game. So it's a game about working in a tea shop, and somebody comes around and we'll make the tea and we'll collect the plants and we'll put it in the big cute machine. But it's actually made by Davy Reedon, and it's about a warrior who's got to do battle. She's lost for the very first time in her life, and this place has sort of summoned her to learn how to relax, and she doesn't know how to relax, and so it's all about like all the cute stuff and all the twee stuff is being met by somebody who's barely tolerating the existence of all this, and just like, I guess. And that's the thing that makes it interesting, is you learning. Maybe you should let go and be still for a while, and I don't know, it probably goes places, but I've not played enough. But yeah, that's Wonderstop. Dark Seed 2. I think I did a review of this in writing, but not in audio. So Dark Seed, let's talk about Dark Seed 1. Dark Seed 1 is it's like SNES era. It has only so many colours in it. It has the nerdiest protagonist who bought a haunted house for very stupid reasons, and then somehow finds himself in a strange dark universe where he must save the world by turning a spaceship off. The logic of the puzzle doesn't really make any sense. Like, there's interesting ideas in the idea that there are two worlds, but there's a timer and you just die at the end of the day, which means you have to keep restarting the game and just speedrunning it, because there's no way of knowing what you're going to need. There's an item you need on day 4 that if you don't get on day 1, you're fucked. And I just had to download a save because I wasn't doing all of it again. The selling point is that it has H.R. Geiger art in. Apparently, they just asked him, and he's like, "Yeah, that sounds lovely." He's just a sort of a nice guy. He was. Darkseid 2 is tonally very different from Darkseid 1. It doesn't have the nerdy protagonist. He's now a whiny protagonist. It seemed, considering the main character of Darkseid 1 was just the maker, it seems a bit mean. Darkseid 2 very much is inspired by fucking Twin Peaks. As soon as Jazz comes on and his friend Jack comes on the scene, you're like, oh, I know what this fucking is. It has a scene I don't want to spoil, but no one's ever going to fucking watch it, where somebody goes, "This will explain everything," and then a really funny thing happens, and I don't want to spoil that really funny thing. I don't know if the entire game is worth playing just for that. It is more subversive than it seems at first, especially compared to the first game, but at the same time, it's sort of sabotaging the first game by making the protagonist the most dislikable guy in computer games. Like, his friend got murdered by a serial killer, so he's trying to figure out the serial killer, but it's also a shapeshifter from the dark world, and so he's having to investigate both worlds. But again, puzzles don't make any fucking sense, and you can be told that like everything has a thing on the other side, which is an interesting idea. It's a C medium again. But it's just like, oh, H.R. Geiger is good at drawing art, and now these guys get to use it too. But it's a point and click, and it's on the weird side of point and clicks, so it's fun for that. It's sort of, if you're a collector of old games and you like to go through those, I'd only recommend it under that circumstance and fucking no other circumstance. Little Nightmares 2, not as good as Little Nightmares 1. Little Nightmares 1 was a little platformer. You're a little guy in a spooky universe. You're a girl in a spooky universe, but whatever. In the second one, you're a little guy. And everything's exaggerated and elongated, and you're trying to travel, and everything is fucking mean, and it's cutesy, and yeah, the second game just does that again. It's a short game. It doesn't really say it's welcome, but also doesn't really bring any new ideas. It's got spooky imagery. I would argue it's like outside of Wonderstop. No, it's better. It's obviously better than Darkseid 2, like, there's no question, and probably better than Martha is Dead. It is a working, functional game as well. Martha is Dead had a couple of janky moments. But Little Nightmares 2, it does that thing Little Nightmares occasionally did, where if it's not working for you, it's going to get a bit annoying to repeat sections. The platforming, it works well enough, but it's never like super. it's like we're playing Inside again, and the Little Nightmares did a good job of like differentiating itself by being set in a new universe, and I don't know if a second game really helped out. But you're a cool little guy, and there's a scary big person after you. I wonder what's going on with that. Just like the first game again. But you know, I enjoyed it well enough playing. But I don't know why I sounded too negative talking about it again. It's just not as good as the first one though. But